So Vishnu appeared there on the back of Garuda because he actually prayed to the Supreme Lord. Although Gajendra was feeling intense pain, could barely move, he was crying in agony within himself. Upon seeing Lord Narayan directly before him, he somehow managed, in his extremely weakened condition, to pick a lotus flower from that lake in Ritumat garden and offered it to the Lord, said, "O my Lord Narayan, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you." Narayan pulled Gajendra out of the water to rescue him from the crocodile, then used his chakra to cut off the head of the crocodile. Demigods glorified the event with flowers and dancing, singing and drumming. As usual, very glad to see the Lord and glorify Him for His heroic activities. And then Shukadeva Goswami narrates a past life. Everyone has a past life. We change body after body and are always taking on a new body. As Krishna tells in Gita 2:22, Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grinati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jirnan yanyani samyati navani dehi. Arjun, as a person puts on new clothes and gives up his old clothes, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old, useless and worn-out body. In 2:13, Tahinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir diras tatra namuyati. Arjun, as the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So we're changing bodies from one after another. Sometimes we're in human form of life, or sometimes we may be vastly powerful, beautiful demigods. And our next life after a human being, we may become an animal, or even an insect or a bird. It's not guaranteed that we'll change this human body and receive another human body. So one should be very careful and dutiful to utilize this precious and rare human form of life to attain the highest goal, which is pure Krishna consciousness, Krishna prema, and attain a pure spiritual body to serve the Lord in the spiritual world. Prabhupada mentions this point about fulfilling the purpose of human life, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But our Gaudiya conception of moksha is not any of the ordinary type of mokshas, the four Vaikuntha mokshas, which most Vaishnavas are aspiring for. Salokya Mukti, to live on the same planet as Vaikuntanath, Lord Vishnu Narayan, and Vaikuntha, Vishnu Loka. Salokya Mukti, or Sarupya Mukti, to have a beautiful bluish body like Lord Vishnu, transcendental form like the Lord, Sarupya. Or Samipya, to live in proximity of the Lord, to live nearby Lord Vishnu. Or Shashti Mukti, to live in Vishnu Loka and have equal opulence of the Lord, have a very big palace and so many servants, and a very opulent and beautiful surrounding, like a mini Vaikuntha within Vaikuntha. That is not the aspiration of the Gaudiya Vaishnava. The Gaudiya Vaishnava wants the Prem Seva of Radha and Krishna Vrindavan. So our idea of mukti is simply Prem Mukti, Sarupya Mukti. We don't want Sarupya, meaning that we want a form like Bhagavan Narayan, We don't want to be like Vishnu, but we want to have our Sarup, not Sarup, not a form like Lord Vishnu, Narayan Rup, or even to live in Vaikuntha in any shape or form or position or status. But we want to realize our own individual Siddhadeha, attain our own Stahibhav, loving, permanent loving mood towards the Lord, loving mellow as Krishna's friend in Sakya-ras, or his mother and father in Vatsalya-ras, or his intimate lover or Sakhi maidservant, or Sakhi in Madhurya-ras. So this is the mukti, the liberation that we're aspiring for. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadishakamiye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhaktir hoitakitayi. The devotee doesn't want anything of this world: women, wealth, position, power, beauty, elegance, poetry, enjoyment, finery, entertainment, travel. He doesn't want anything of this material world. And he doesn't want anything from the spiritual world. He doesn't want dharma, art, kam, or moksha. He says, Mama janmani janmani yashre bhavatad bhaktira hoituki tvai. I want a hoituki bhakti. A Gaudiya Vaishnava, follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a worshipper of Radha Govinda Yugal. He only wants Yugal Bhakti, Radha Krishna Yugal Bhakti, a hoituki bhakti, or Bhagavan and Bhagavati, Bhagavan Krishna and Bhagavati Radha. Bhagavad Bhakti or hoituki tvai. Bhagavad Bhakti means Bhagavan Bhakti and Bhagavati Bhakti, pure love and devotion for Radha and pure love and devotion for Krishna. And whether he takes another birth or whether he attains mukti or liberation and goes to the spiritual world, either way he wants to be situated in Sarup Siddhi. Jivera Surupaya Krishna Nityadas. The Sarup of the Jiva is to be Krishna's eternal das. Whether he's poor or rich, or whether he has a form like the Lord or not a form like the Lord, or whether he lives on the planet of the Lord or not, or has the same opulence of the Lord or not, he simply wants to have a form of his own Sarup. This is liberation for the Gaudiya Vaishnava, to be situated in the Seva Sarup, on the earth, in the heaven, in animal, and human being, in wealth and poverty, next to the Lord, far from the Lord, with the Lord, away from the Lord. Seva, 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 das, 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 anudas. So that liberation is described in the second canto of Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 2, verse 6, which Prabhupada always quotes. Muktir hitvan yata rupam sarupena vyavastiti. The liberation is a vyavastiti, the permanent situation of the form of the living entity after he gives up the changeable, gross and subtle material body, sarupena. So the elephant king Gajendra and the powerful crocodile, they had their previous lives and they gave up that body and became animals. They were previously kings. One was a king. Both were kings. One's a Gandharva king and one was another king. So two kings became two animals in the jungle. One became a powerful king of the crocodiles. Another became a powerful king of the elephants. So the crocodile king, he's changed of body. He didn't get his Sarup, nor did he get Vishnu Mukti, or let's say Vaikuntha Mukti. He took another body from boyhood to youth to old age. He passed his old age as a king and died and became a youthful, cute little crocodile. In his previous, he was named Maharaj Hu. He was a great Gandharva king, Hu, Hu. He was cursed by Devala Rishi to become a crocodile. After being annihilated by the Vishnu Chakra, he assumed his original celestial form as Gandharva. Understanding that Vishnu Kripa had been bestowed upon him, he offered obeisances and prayed to the Lord. he circumambulated the Lord, paid obeisances, and returned to Gandharva Loka freed from that particular sin which compelled him to accept the body of a crocodile. The elephant king Gajendra had formerly also been a king, but he was a human king. So one was a celestial Gandharva king and one was a Manush or human king. Both became animals, so demigods can fall down and become crocodiles. Humans can fall down and become pigs. Humans can fall down and become cockroaches, dogs, monkeys, fish, snakes. Anything is possible due to our sinful activities. So he was a king of South India named Indradumna. And he was living in a cottage after family life in the Malaya hills doing tapasya. He was doing Maun Brata, meditating on Vishnu. Agastya Rishi came to his ashram, but somehow Indradumna maintained Maun, didn't receive him properly. The sage Agastya became angry and cursed him. You're acting so dull and insulting a Brahmana. You better become a dull, dumb elephant. Because he was a great devotee, King Indradumna accepted the curse and became an elephant, but due to his previous devotional practices, he remembered his worship and he offered a prayer at the last moment to Lord Vishnu. So he became freed he attained Sarupya Mukti, a four-armed form of the Lord, because he had been such a great devotee in his previous life. And when he was touched by Lord Vishnu at the time of dying in his elephant's body, he became free from all his tamagun and all his material karmas and attained liberation by the mercy of the Lord. He boarded Garuda and went to Vaikuntha. And there's even a benediction given at the end of this chapter about Gajendra Moksha. And the story of Gajendra Moksha is mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas and other Puranas. It says that one should recite this Gajendra Moksha story on Ekadasi. Every Ekadasi one should recite Gajendra Moksha, or especially on Avirbhav Tithis of the Lord, appearance days of the Lord, Janmashtami, Ram Navami, etc., or any auspicious function, because this story is so powerful that it will create all auspiciousness for anyone who hears it and purify the whole place where it's spoken. And it's a great benediction that one becomes free from sins. And if he gets out of bed early in the morning and recites this prayer, then he'll go to the spiritual world and get Vaikuntha Mukti. It's very, very powerful, this Gajendra Moksha Lila. Very interesting, the Lord Hari, when he's giving this benediction, he says that one should rise early in the morning and meditate on the settings, the Udipan, which includes the beauty of Trikut mountain and the lake. And then he should also meditate on the spiritual world, which is the Svetadweep within the Milk Ocean, and various bodily features of the Lord. He should meditate on the personal form of the Lord. So there's Udipan, the surroundings and environment, and the Alambana, the Vishaya Alambana, Lord Vishnu. This is all part of the Vibhav. And perform this meditation, then chant this prayer as a sadhana. If one does this regularly, he will attain mukti.